Right, are you getting bad leads right now? If that's the case, don't even panic. This here whole video today, what I'm hoping to do is educate you on how and why that's not an issue, as long as you actually have control over the process of your lead generation, and that's a big thing. So I'm going to put it right here, as long as you have control over the process. Okay, so basically what do I mean by that? Whenever I'm talking about having control over the process, right? What I'm talking about is having the ability to make live changes to the campaign, okay? So by making live changes to the campaign, I mean that you're able to interact with your sales team on a day-by-day basis. And say, for an example, this is the sales team. You need to be able to have a conversation with these guys and basically say on a day-by-day basis, how was the leads? And from that, your sales team should be able to provide you with not feelings, not anything like that, like not gut instincts. They should be able to provide you with one thing, and that is data. And the reason why data is the most important thing is the fact that we will be able to have a look at a spreadsheet just like this, and we'll be able to say, okay, out of these here leads, we'll be able to say the status. And basically within that, if we keep on noticing certain things such as, customer not qualified, and then we see another comes through and say numbers not active, and then we say another one comes through and it's not qualified again, we'd be looking at this here and we'd be saying to the sales team, okay, out of the statistics here, why are these guys not actually coming through as unqualified? And from that day of data gathering, what we'll be able to get is an answer on that. So the answer, as an example, for business loan leads might be that they are too unestablished. Whenever you're talking about having someone who's too unestablished, the company might be too young, or the director might have bad debt, or outside of that, bad credit history. From that, the sales team would be able to pull up a lead disposition report, and they should be able to tell us exactly the lead status. They should tell us exactly why leads aren't going through the process and where the actual gaps are. So as an example, say they were coming back and saying that the company age was too young, and that was a massive factor in why we're not seeing success. And then outside of that as well, bad credit was another issue. Well then, from our actual statistics and our data gathering, we know that there are two problems we need to solve. And the two problems here are obviously the bad credit and people's companies being too young. So whenever we hear this here feedback, it's important for us because we can make changes based on data, most important point one, and real-time feedback. We need real-time feedback so that we can actually understand from a sales position within the business, why are leads closing or why are they not closing? If they're closing, tell us exactly why we're doing so well as well. Because whenever we can identify a problem or a trait within someone and a consistent trend within someone who's good or bad, we're able to then implement more and double down on the things that win. And we're also able to cut back on the things that don't win. So whenever we're making these changes based on feedback, how do we solve the problem of obviously not being too young? So being too young, we solve that problem by asking company age. And if the company age is coming across within the funnel, just as an example, as being less than 3 years, we'll then simply kick them out of the funnel. Sorry for the bad drawing. And that means that your sales team never ever have to deal with bad leads again. This is a consistent and ongoing solution, which means for a fact that things like this will continue to come up until it's perfect. So what do I mean in that there? Within lead generation, you will always go through a set of problems. Step one might be too young. Step two might be bad credit. Step three might be contact rates. And each one of these problems will typically show themselves after you've already solved one problem. So once you solve that one, you go to the next. This here is obviously an identified problem. You tick it off, you go to the next. And outside of that, realistically, what you're wanting to do is based on the feedback from your team in real time, just tick off these one by one until eventually you get to a perfect lead, usually about 8 out of 10 times is what we can identify for our clients. Now, you will always get junk leads. Like, that's just part of the process. But the thing is, it's up to your company then to also take into account the likes of the systems and processes that people can have. So as an example, what can you do with bad leads? There's so many different things. So a lot of different companies, step one is obviously to work themselves. Step two is to actually sell on the lead to a referral partner. Step three could even be to actually implement AI systems. For follow-ups. And outside of that, realistically, what you're wanting to do is you're meant to have a lead which comes into the business, and you can have multiple different options to selling that lead on, or working the lead yourself. So realistically, if you're working it yourself, they should have multiple product offerings is the ideal way. Low ticket offers, normal kind of signature offers, recurring kind of foundational subscription offers. Outside of that, realistically, if you're actually selling it on to a partner, have different partners for different things. Have one square partner for one service, have a circle partner for another service, have a triangle partner for another service. Just make out your network so then you can actually make the best out of every single lead that comes into your business. And then last but not least, obviously, get the robots. If I can draw a good robot here, we'll see what it does. Get the robots working on it, and get the AI systems in place. And what you'll see with the likes of AI systems is that you can take old records, and these old records that you typically wouldn't have done anything with, even if you were just doing normal email sequences or stuff once a month, twice a month, all that kind of stuff. By using the likes of AI, you're actually able to increase your contact rates, your response rates, your actual conversion rates, into bookings, appointments, calls, actual end conversions as well. Just implement the likes of 𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗿 for your voice AI would be a fantastic way to go about it. Or outside of the likes of 𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗿, there's also 𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏, which can handle the likes of your normal SMS conversational kind of level AI stuff. Or you can get a bit more advanced and build out your own sequence on any of them alongside doing a ChatGPT implementation on the back end. But I hope that this here video provided a level of value for you. If you're getting bad leads, it's basically just a tick box exercise of sorting problems one by one, as you can see here, is what I would always say to everybody. And realistically, your ability to fix these problems with a partner and fix them quickly is going to make the difference in terms of will you make money or will you not in paid media, especially at scale. Like what we always find would separate, obviously like an A player from a B player is speed. So an A player will always get there faster. They'll always get the job done faster. They'll always have the knowledge at hand so that they can actually come to a solution. If not, they'll have a strong enough network like ourselves that will implement the solution very quickly into your problem. So whenever you're working with A players such as us, you can expect speed, transparency, results, and overall be confident in scaling to these bigger months. Whenever you're working with a B player, you might save a few quid, as a lot of people try and do, and penny pinch and all that kind of stuff. But realistically, you run into the problems of stuff not getting done fast enough. You're not confident in the results that you're getting. You can't consciously say that there's guaranteed profit line at every single pound of spend. There's a lot towards actually finding the right partners and compensating them in the right way. But that's a story for another day. I am done ranting and for my bad drawings for one day for you. But I hope that this here give you a bit more insight in towards lead generation and how you can actually come up with solutions to every single problem. If they're unqualified for whatever reason, if you're experiencing lead problems for whatever problem or reason, you can realistically set in place a solution for everything. Bad contact rates, you can do one-time passcodes. You can do a lot of different stuff so that you can increase your actual contact rates on that side. Make sure that your speed to lead process and your actual sales strategy and dial strategy on the back end of a lead being delivered as well is up to scratch. Otherwise, all the leads that you generate in the world, they will mean absolutely nothing if you can't work the leads or your team can't work the leads. I promise that's the truth. We have seen people spend thousands of pounds per day and not see the results that they could see out of their lead generation efforts because they don't have the systems within the place of their business. Always look at your business and your lead generation services or partners or whatever way you're doing things, and make sure that the two marry up. We always have a bias of towards sales systems should always match up with marketing and actual advertisement or lead generation systems on that back end. They should be as congruent an experience as possible for the customers.